Yep. 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 Yeah, we're going a little early. We're gonna try a little early. I don't know how you doing, yo. Yo, 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 yo. We're gonna try something a little early today.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Hey, thank you, Disowns. Many appreciations. Many appreciations. I don't know what Radix is.
Welcome to Costco.
And I feel too stupid to ask. I feel too stupid to ask. Thank you very much. Oh, Delta, sup, Prime? Have you ever had Brazilian barbecue? Yes, I've had some Brazilian barbecue. No, wait, I haven't had Brazilian barbecue. Radix D's nuts? Oh, damn. Early bird gets the milk jug. Hell yeah, your milk video on Twitter, it was like prawn. Yeah, it was pretty sweet, huh? The milk video, I kid you not. Unironically, the milk video on Twitter had multiple people accuse it of subtle and or explicit racism.
Welcome
Pineapple
to Costco.
Gong, thank you very, very much.
You.
Hey, howdy, Monique. How you doing? Yeah. Here, I gotta turn this off. Best, dude, it turns out, people be wild out there, okay? People be wild out there. I don't understand it. It sounds like a Twitter thing, yeah. It was obviously racism. Yeah, I know, Dax. It was clearly racism. You being the leader of the white supremacy group. Sorry, Dax, but you're the leader. I know, it's not what you wanted, Dax, but it's what happens. Hold on one second. Let's see. Hello, beautiful people. Well, hello. Hold on one second. I just wanted to set up a couple things. There we go. Sorry, I have to do this because or else I leak my DMs every time. So here, I have to keep the screen off for just long enough that I don't goof this up. Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Let's see. Pineapple Gong, thank you again for the tier 2. Let's go. You sound a little sick. Get better soon. No, my nose has been stuffy these last couple days, and I don't know what's going on.
Welcome to Costco.
Oh, podcast is live. Well, look at that. Hey, we chatted. I chatted with those two. Cool man on Twitter. Cool video, man.
Welcome
yeah, thank you.
Costco.
You code, I code, we code while drinking milk. Dead Air, thank you for the tier 3. Damn, can you explain how Git works in 5 words or less? You put code in cloud. There you go. Who doesn't drink milk? Okay. Just give the man some milk. That's what I think about every single time it's Julian. Thank you, Geek Charge, for the 4 months. Now, Mulk was correct. Make code live somewhere else. There you go, Thena Messi. That is perfect. No stuffy because of milk allergy. Soy dev. Okay, that's not what happened. Let's see. Is there a guy that works at Netflix, by the way? Yeah, this is the guy that works at Netflix, by the way. Does Ruby Man use Git hosted in-house? Probably. I mean, technically, hey, no, what are you saying, PrimeageN? Don't try to call me by the furry name. I was here before the furry. I was here before the furries, okay? Yeah. But I had like a whole thing. I had like a whole thing about Nil. I have a whole thing about Nil that I'm a little disappointed. Hold on. I gotta blank out my screen one more time because I did this whole nil pointer thing and I just realized that I don't think I saw it on YouTube. Hold on one second. I'm gonna start probably pushing more towards, I want to start doing like, whoopsies. I want to start pushing more towards like doing what's it called? mogul male type stuff. You know what I mean? Do a little bit more research and then kind of like jump in and tell you guys about stuff. Yes, I knew it. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I found more missing stuff. Dude, I swear, I knew it. I knew there was missing stuff. Okay, thank you guys. Hold on. We're getting there. Hold on, we're almost there. Hold on, baby cakes. Baby cakes, hold your butts. Hold your butts. Why aren't you holding your butts? Hold your butts. Hold on, I'm copying links. Sorry, I'm realizing it right now. Hold on! I can still see chat moving. You just need to hold on. All right, there we go. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I can undo this now. Sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen. Holding these nuts. Hold them nuts, boys. I'm not sure what that means, but you got to do it. I already have like a whole article on... Let's see, got some new XML stuff? Hell yeah. I've been watching the last algorithms course you'll ever need, and I'm so impressed. I've never been a big fan of long courses, but I've learned so much. Thank you. Hey, Frostag, thank you very much for that T1. No vacation for the workagen? No, I'm vacationing. It's just, why today? Today's the 3rd. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you.
Welcome to Costco.
Thank you very much, Joel.
I love you.
Did you finally manage to play? No, Monique, I'm still trying to beat through Elden Ring.
Welcome to Costco.
Tomorrow is America Day. Hell yeah, I'm going hard on America Day. We're going hard on America Day, okay? I got barbecue. We got like 50 people coming over. Gonna barbecue like a maniac. You ever meditate? Not very much, no. Yes, I've seen it. I've been linked it 9,000 times. Do you give a shit about YouTube chat? No. I'm gonna barbecue the hell out of that grill tomorrow, dude. You're gonna barbecue the hell out of that. Can I come? No. You should stream Elden Ring. I'm pretty far in Elden Ring. No, it's me and my kids play. See, the thing is I play video games that me and my kid can play. That's the only way I can make any reasonable progress in any video game at all. So we're going to start Diablo 4 soon. We're going to do family Diablo 4. But first, we need to get through Elden Ring, which we're at the Volcanic Manor now, or the Volcano Manor. So we're moving. Like, we're doing things. And then the next place is going to be... I don't know where to go after Volcano Manor. I just got there. But so then the next place is going to be something fun. You know what I mean? We're going to go deep. Me and my boy, it took us like 4 tries to beat the twin big moving machines that like slung axes and stuff. It was super fun. He was just like, dude, there's no way we can beat it. I'm like, no, we can do it, baby. We can do this. And so we'd go in there, we'd drink our flask of Wondrous Physics, Holy Vow, and then just go in there and start swinging and dodging. It was so much fun. Oh, let's go! Taj, thank you very much for that. Oh, baby, let's go. Let's go. Thank you very much. And ship. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the raid, whoever did that. Have you? No, I haven't.
Welcome to Costco.
No.
I love you.
Anything? Let's see. If there is anything I can say about PrimeageN, as this guy codes. Thank you. I do code. I legitimately code from time to time. It's true. Spy Gaming. Thank you very much. And by the way, from here on out, multiple nights a week, I will be streaming in the evenings because I need to prepare a course for Front-End Masters. It's either going to be on HTMX. It's going to call just... so I have a couple different course ideas. One's going to be called HTMX. The next one is Just Enough TypeScript, JavaScript Performance, or Algorithms Part 2. So I have 4 courses I want to make. I think Just Enough TypeScript is pretty cool, which is just like, how do you practically do the good stuff? Vendetta, thank you very much for that brand new Twitch Prime and James Dev. Hell yeah. And Redtrom, hell yeah. And TMCP, back into subscription mode, back learning the programming, starting with R. R, the statistical programming. Joel, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Joel. Let's go. God bless you and your fam. Thank you, man. I appreciate the nice words. Butt picker. Thanks, butt picker. I'm glad I could give it to you, Rob Butt Picker. Makes me so happy.
And give it to me, Rob.
Oh, I will, Butt Picker. Hey, Prime, check your book recommendations.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wise Owl. Appreciate that.
Costco.
Here, I'm going to do a poll.
I love you.
Let's see what our poll says. Okay, here we go. What to course on? 2 max is all I can choose, right? So just enough TypeScript. That's one of the names I wanted to do. The last algo part 2, right? Because that's like the ending. Java script perf, and then HTMX. I actually think HTMX is about to enjoy a huge something amazing. Always amazed watching your streams. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you. Just enough JS doc. The last. Well, because there's so many different algorithms course. What is no squeal database? I you know what? I prefer just to default to a relational database. I prefer just default to a relational database, and you'll almost always be happier. Hey, no problem, Elijah. Hey, no problem, buddy. I love whoever gifted me a sub. Wow. I like jokes that I only understand. Actually, it is fun to have jokes that you only understand.
Welcome to Costco.
Real talk, it is very fun to do that. Y, X, K, no. We doing OCaml today? No. Well, maybe. Let's see, have you read The Rise of the AI Engineer by Swix? No, I haven't. Me too. I got to do some RDB work recently, and the first time in so many years, I'm like, oh yeah, I've missed this. Just always throw it in a relational database. Honestly, you'll be happier.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco.
No.
I love you.
Hypotex, thank you very much. And Secret and Ninja Man, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What's the game plan for today? You're like the programming counterpart of Ron Burgundy. Well, I mean, I am kind of a big deal. Work at Netflix if you're famous on Twitch. I'm not really famous on Twitch. The algorithm course wrap-up got me emotional. I can't handle a second one. Oh, we're going deep. I work at an Amazon company. Lol, I get slapped if I suggested... Yeah. How front end master's front end was made with hands. MongoDB is web scale as long as you don't care about data integrity or scaling to the web. That sounds like an insult. Prime is much more handsome than Ron Burgundy. Please, I don't know. Will Ferrell's a handsome man, okay? There's a mention of AI and JS, so PrimeGen might be interested. Ugh. You are yet another Dr. Disrespect clone. Thank you. I think. 5 years into Twitch, you are just a disrespect clone. Thank you. Handsome messages get priority. Surprised? Yeah. Shungite. Whenever I watch the 2-time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but whenever I watch your videos live, I feel more educated than yesterday, and it's good entertainment. Hey, no problem. The two Prime? Yeah. Give me your Twitch Primes twice. How does that sound? The 2 Prime. Can you make an editor in TypeScript? Yeah, it's called VS Code. The real HTMX, what the F, unfollowed? The real HTMX coming in here. Hold on, let's see, what do we got here? So this is, let's see, okay, so HTMX came with a strong second. Pretty surprised about that. Actually, I'm not too surprised about it. I feel like it's been buzzing pretty hard on the internets lately. And so what I'm most surprised is JavaScript performance actually being the lowest, and then just enough TypeScript being the next lowest. This I'm not surprised about at all. I figured this would be first because I figured I'd do a lot of graph algorithms. I might poll you guys what kind of algorithms you want out of here, but I was gonna do some like max flow, min flow, strongly connected components, kind of like get into some of the more advanced stuff. Yeah. Do you recommend any minimap? No, I think minimap's stupid. I don't know what these people are doing. Mini-mapping. Leon Noel is doing a new court of 100 dev soon. You should be a guest on... Oh, that'd be fun to do, actually. I would do that. Gap 4545. I think Leon is... I think that man is dynamite. That's what I think of Leon. You can quote me on that one. The man's dynamite. The man is top number one. Okay? Big fan. Do you have any tips for growing as a Twitch on Twitch as a programmer? No, I don't. Honestly, I have no idea. Speaking of perf remove, swap remove and Rust blew my mind. What's your favorite algorithm? I don't know if I have a favorite algorithm, honestly. Elden Ring build? I'm doing a few different ones with each one of my kids. I'm doing a Ring Reaper. Ring Reaper Elden Ring, right? Is that what they call it? Right? Isn't that what they call it? You use...
Welcome to Costco.
You effectively... do they call it a Ring Reaper? Anyways, it's the one where you use a Halo Scythe. Halo Scythe, you use Halo Scythe and Angel Wing Scythe. You use them together. Halo Scythe is obviously in your primary hand, even though it's a little bit weaker. It's just that you get that sweet... You get those sweet golden rings coming out of you, and then you just scale it up hard with Faith, and the Faith goes nuts, right? Because you start off... You can really get some good scaling going on. And it's primary in Dex, and then a little bit in Faith. And then the bleed is nice to have. And so you got 2 bleed weapons. Yeah, it's fun. How was the correct way to do quicksort? Don't copy. Damn, he's going deep. I don't even know this build. Yeah, pick. It's fun. I'm starting to get there. Well, it's just because I'm picking a build for each one of my kids. You know what I mean? Maybe implement BOGO sort in Rust. It's probably faster than array dot sort. Get wrecked, peasant. Today I was thinking of refreshing my JS skills using a You Don't Know JS book, but all editions contained at most 800 pages. Dude, trust me, you don't need to do that. If you're reading 800 pages on JavaScript, you have jumped the shark. I'm just letting you know. It's not the way. It's not the play. I'm letting you know now, it's not the play. Okay? Exactly. You are the factory. That's true. There you go. This is perfect. But real talk, it's not the play. And let me go pee, and I'm going to explain my stance very hard about that. Okay? Hold on. All right, hey everybody. Hey. Okay, so why shouldn't you get an 800-page book on JavaScript? Why do I say that that's a bad thing? Okay, so here's a couple things. First off, there's this concept called programming languages, and there's books on it called programming languages or programming concepts, where it's like, what is a function? What is a class? You can look up and understand what are decorators. None of this is JavaScript specific, but it applies to JavaScript itself as much as anything else. And so now it's just up to your ability to express what is the thing I want to understand. JavaScript is one of the most simple languages out there as far as complexity goes. A pretty limited standard definition, so it's not like you have to learn and find, like, you don't rely on it completely for everything. All you have to do is just understand basic concepts of programming itself and then apply it to JavaScript. Honestly, it'll make your life 10 times easier. The JavaScript specific things are, okay, how do I do a decorator? Okay, that's how I do a decorator. Okay, how do I do a class? Okay, that's how I do a class. How do I do a proxy? Okay, this is how I do a proxy. In Lua, it looks like this. In JavaScript, it looks like this, right? It's like you don't have to go too nuts with these things. And so I wouldn't read 800 pages on JavaScript. If you're reading 800 pages on JavaScript, I guarantee you a huge portion of it is nothing but filler.
I love you.
It is truly just filler. Right? It's just a bunch of nonsense. Hey, thank you very much, Bash Ketchum, 69. But my doubt is not language dependent. I just using JS as an example. I think it'd be right to know. Yeah, you need to learn one. Yeah, what happened to your voice? A cold? No, I think I've never been allergic to anything. Yeah, but that's technical documentation. That's different because they have to document every stupid method, right? I mean, you got to go in there. I mean, the fact that, how about this one? Unshift, JavaScript, MDN. Like, the fact that this is more than this is crazy, right? Like, look at that. Look at how much crap is on remove something from the frontsie. Remove it from the front. Here's what it looks like. Also, this is the syntax. Also, here's some parameters. Also, return value. Also, here's the description that's deeper. Here's a second example. Here's a third example. Here's a more example. It's just like, how much do you really need? How much do you really need when it comes to that? I don't normally do this, but could you check DM on Discord? Can be off stream since it happened twice already. It might be worth a look. Sure, I can take a look at that. They get paid per word. I've been watching your productivity course on front-end masters and did your setup in Vim slowly and got dumped all my current setup and I feel slow, but your method is blazingly fast. Let's see. Who gets to claim they wrote the book on remove item from the front of an array in JavaScript? Yeah. Does Netflix actually use Chaos Monkey internally? We use more than Chaos Monkey, dog. We also use Chaos Gorilla and Chaos Kong. Chaos Kong does still cause problems from time to time. So if you don't know what Chaos Kong is, effectively Chaos Kong is just turn off an entire region. Right? So like US West, we just turn off US West. Just bye. We'll turn off just a region, see how it goes. Chaos Gorilla is turn off an entire service. How well do we do if we just turn off your entire service? And then, of course, Chaos Monkey is where you just kill an instance of something. So something just dies. Like, you're just hanging out, and all of a sudden, one of your machines just goes down. Obviously, you've never read the 1.5 thousand pages on C++, and having it say this is just an intro.
Welcome to Costco.
Where do you hide the bodies? Chaos Gorilla? This everything reminds me of him. Dick's out for Chaos Gorilla. Have you ever played Hog? No, I don't get to play much games. Acti, thank you very much. How do you apply those chaos stuff to the code base or your services? You don't. It happens. It happens to you. It gets applied to you. Dr. Hornet, how you doing? I need your opinion on one. Since I've started NeoVim and I love it, and all the motions and flexibility and speed and plugins and all this about it, you still miss the scroll wheel. Don't. I think, let's see. No, H and J are not what you do to move up and down. And not fast, and the page up and down just breaks the continuity of my brain. So I found that page, like doing half-page scrolls, like that I do half-page scrolls. Control U and D. At first, I hated these, right? I hated this. Now, my brain is just used to it. I just took a moment and got used to it. Yes, I got Leptos up and running, this thing up and running, because I wanted to go and I wanted to play with HTMX. Yes, I said HTMX and Leptos. Potentially the ultimate stack. Leptos, HTMX. Because, okay, so I think I understand HTMX better. So, hey, real HTMX, are you still here? Real HTMX, are you still here? Hold on, I want to give him a shot because okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, real HTMX. In my head, what I correlate HTMX to is RTMP, like a real-time video game. Is that fair? What? Well, what I mean by that is that if you play any sort of real-time video games, what happens is that you press buttons and all that on your controller, and it sends it up to the server, and the server actually sends back down the changes that you're experiencing. And so that means your whole model is that your client is exceptionally stupid and that your server's exceptionally smart. Your server truly plays the game, and your client just displays the game, takes an input, and sends back, like how Stadia works. Okay, explain to me what a video game is, like I'm a boomer. I feel like I just did a pretty good job there. That's how I'm thinking about it, is that HTMX drives the client as stupid as possible and drives the server as smart as possible, where you can use, say, a real language, you can have better type safety, you can have high speeds, right? That sounds like Livewire and Phoenix. Yeah, exactly. A very similar concept. So that's kind of how I've been thinking about it is, okay, that means I put all my smarts into the server, and I stop thinking about the client other than like a series of operations, right? Yeah, I think so. I think I'm getting it. I want to play with it more. Isn't it faster to transfer JSON over the wire than HTML? The thing about that is that JSON, see, it's this Faustian bargain that people make with this kind of stuff, which I think this is why I think HTMX is the correct place to do things. I've been thinking about this a lot, which this is generally what people, here, Excali drop. So this is why I think this is why apps have been so hard. For a long time, when the internet was first starting, you had this like thin idea of a client and you had this thick idea of a server, right? And the server would communicate back and forth, and really the ability to communicate, I don't know how to do stuff as nice as Theo does on these things, is, you know, I can't do things as nice as he does, right? Is that the client makes a request, right? Ah, crap. I hate that. There we go.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Is that the client makes a request and the server responds with something, right? So in day one, it used to be that the client would go to, you know, slash, and the server would serve slash. Then the client would go to whatever, right? Slash authors. And the server would go and render and deliver down slash authors. And then we came up with obviously the XML request whatever, and then it got awful and blah 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 blah. Right? It was not a great time, right? I would agree that I hated working with the JavaScript API to be able to make AJAX requests. It was really, really nice when I didn't have to think about that, and I just like post, get, and it worked really well in jQuery. jQuery really made that just a lot easier. But then this advent of JavaScript or JSON came along, which said that your client is going to be smarter than it really currently is. Your client is going to actually receive, instead of receiving a page to render, it's going to receive data about the page, right? And this data about the page, it's then up to your client to make a decision on what to do, to store the history, to make sure these buttons all work, all that kind of stuff, right? And then our server slowly got stupider, but in the hardest kind of way. Our server had to have enough state on every single request to understand what's happening, but only deliver down the smallest like fraction of whatever that is, and then only deliver the data down. So it had to take all these different sources of data you get, turn it into something that's like a data view, then hand the data view to a client who takes the data view and makes it into something pretty, right? And so then we get into this state, and I've never liked this state. And so that's how this is how we eventually got to RSC, right? React Server Components. This is how we got there. Just keep on trying to drive this thing into a prettier and prettier thing until we realize that by making the client smart, what we're actually doing is we are actually making the client take the responsibilities of the server. And then more of the server, and then more of the server, and then more of the server. This would be more of what RSC looks like. Is that the client has actually subsumed a lot of the server responsibility. And now the server responsibility has this really small fraction right here, which is a little bit different. And so now we have this whole thing where it's becoming more and more meshed together, where I think in the real-time video gaming world, or the real-time anything world where the client is thin, I think is actually, I truly think this actually makes more sense. You have a client that's really thin, and then you have a server that's thick, because the server drives all knowledge of the game and all knowledge of everything, right? It's the server that makes the decisions about everything. It's the client that doesn't make any decisions about things. Now, whether or not this is perfect, good, bad, whatever, I don't know. I'd have to play with it even more before I make a strong decision on this. But I want to try it out more. Girthy, thick, yeah, chunky server, yeah. jQuery X into yeah. This reminds me of the old Telnet Mud and Mux games. Yeah, this was a lot of that. Senior software engineering team Grizzled is a grizzled C# dev that came from Java, and he refused to let us build anything that isn't .NET. Here's the deal: is that fighting with your coworkers is extremely hard. That's the answer. There's no solid way around it. You have to know your coworker. You have to know how to do this. RIP Google Stadia, definitely one of Google's services of all time. Yeah. See, what you're referring to as a thin client is actually a very stateful connections. And you don't send HTML down. You send diffs that are patches to the DOMs. Yes. The issue at the fundamental level is the network request round trips. A render time and parse time are the biggest factors. Payload size within reason for text is not a factor. Rendering on the server solves 2 of those HTML renders extremely fast compared to JS. Yes. So this is kind of why I'm thinking I'm on this team, but I cannot say I'm fully on the team. Does that make sense? It's just how I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure. You are a good dude, man. Hey, thank you, Bertrand. I appreciate that. Hi, Prime. One of the benefit of a thick client is less server cost? No, I do not believe this statement at all. The reason why I don't believe that statement is because you've chosen a shitty language with an even shittier library, right? Like React, by all objective purposes, is one of the slowest renderers out there. It's hard to find something that renders slower. So, of course, when you take a language that by its very nature is slower, and then you take a library that is the slowest of those, and then use that on your server, of course you're going to hit 5 RPS, 10 RPS at max on your server. Like, nothing's crazy about that, okay? Nothing's crazy about that. And so, it's just like, whatever, that's your choice. And if you like that, go for it. But there's always a cost. Everything you're doing has a cost. I'm not convinced that React server components are going to be the end-all, be-all of everything. I think within 2 years, we'll be saying the same thing we said about classes. I think they're just going to fall out of love. Just like everything else, div-a-day. Because what we're going to find is that we're going to squeeze the ball. New issues are going to crop up. And a new way to solve those new issues will happen. This is what React has been this entire time. We have a ball that's been very hard to manage. We squeeze it. 2 ends come out. Okay, we don't like classes. We squeeze it again. There's still 2 ends. We don't like this. We squeeze it again. There's still 2 ends. We do this again. We squeeze it again. It's just this perpetual forever squeezy thingy. Right? But how do magnets work? I don't know. Magic. Squeeze the balls. Your voice sounds different. Yeah, I have a plugged nose. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, you know it's easier. Let's see. You know it's easier for a client to render websites most of the time than game. I'm unsure. I don't know if anything you're saying is true or false. I cannot say any of it is true or false. I'm not claiming that what I'm saying is correct. HTMX is a generalization of the core technology of the web, hypermedia. Yes. What I'm saying is that I'm neither claiming it is better or worse. I'm currently claiming it's different. And from my perspective of engineering, it seems like an easier model for me, the dumb guy, to wrap his head around. You know what I mean? Mine BTC on the client. Yeah, that seems good. That seems good. Okay. Yeah. All right. TJ and I are going to read this. All right. TJ and I are going to read this. My understanding of Leptos is wrong, but I thought it was a front end. No. Leptos is both a front end or a back end. So here, right what I'm doing right here is I'm actually using this. I'm using
Turns on your bad feelings into good feelings.
Right, I'm using Actix to create a web server, and I'm just rendering out hello world in Rust, right? So I have this right here, and so that means I can literally go to localhost, is it 8080? And I got hello world. So I just rendered out This right here. This renders at about 600 times the speed of React or some crazy nonsense like that. So that means if I can, I don't know if I can, but I'm very curious if I can do. I assume I can do. I see. I don't remember all the different things you can do because I don't know this stuff good enough. Good enough, right? I don't know this stuff good enough yet. I should probably. I would like to get this thing hot reloading. That'd be nice. That would be nice, huh? There you go. So obviously I can make those things, right? So I can make all the stuff I need to make HTMX work, right? I can do dashes in HX. So I'm already there. So I got a server that could theoretically play the game. Is there some Rust in Netflix code? Cargo Leptos watch for hot reloading. Yeah, I got to figure out how Cargo Leptos works because there's like a whole project it sets around things. So Leptos for initial rendering and HTMX for updates. Well, no, it's not Leptos for initial rendering. Leptos for all rendering. You could have, I mean, I'm sure there's ways you'd want to do client-side stuff, right? Client-side interactivity. I don't know exactly how much client-side interactivity you want to do. You could technically drive everything through it.
Welcome to Costco.
Do you think Leptos is the best way to use? No. I think you can use whatever you want, and that's the best part about HTMX. You just need something that templates. Yeah. Is Leptos faster than React? Yeah, 1,000-fold. Leptos is SSR, Leptos is SSR, hydration, CSR, all the things. I love that. So okay, so what about Tailwind? You can do Tailwind as well. You can put Tailwind. HTMX does not make
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Any arguments about things. Yeah, Go templates. There you go. HTMX is really just a wire between the server and the client for partial uploads. Yes, that's all it is. Leptos is like the fastest. Leptos is very, very fast. Now remember, there's this benchmark. There's this whole benchmark JavaScript frameworks thing, right? Now, this isn't a great thing. This is not a good thing, but I just want you to look at this for a second, okay? I do not think this is a fantastic. Where's the thing? Official results page. Okay, so I guess we're just going to look at this thing. So you can see Leptos is always right within these first couple right here. Leptos, there you go. Leptos is right here. These are all, but remember, this is all, so Solid is in here, Inferno, right? But this is all JavaScript side. That means Leptos is running in WASM for these tests. On the server, you get Rust. You get no garbage collection. You get a language that's compiled and optimized for that platform. You get no parsing. You get no jitting. You have no memory issues. You have no churning. You have none of that. So it's going to run a bajillion times faster, right? That's why it's so powerful. I can understand all the debate over for JS on the front end, but why are people still using things like Node on the back end? It's because they want to be able to write one client, and I get that. I get that. One client makes sense. Feeling. All right, hey, Bifrost, thank you very much for that. Thank you for the two.
Welcome to Costco.
The gifting the the 2 tier 1s. Let's go, baby. Because HTMX
Welcome to Costco.
does all the placement. HTMX puts it where it needs to be. HTMX gives you the tools to be able to say, update this part, update this part. Speed is not the #1 priority, but I like Leptos. It's really good. Leptos is really, really good, right? This is really, really good stuff.
I love you.
Right? I think it's just nicer. Scryry bit it is. Effectively, it's a much more smaller. It's just a much more smaller surface area. Is Leptos a drink? No, it's a disease, I think. Let's see. But nice thing about HTMX is that you don't need a build step. Correct. But for Tailwind, I need to reintroduce that, right? Yes, you would. That's up to you, though. But you could also only have your build step on CSS. So tech savvy, that would be the nice part, is that you only have it on CSS updates. Which is much, much better, because most of the time you're writing your stuff. Right? Most of the time I'm not writing CSS. Most of the time I'm writing, all that other crap. The CSS is that last part where you're trying to make it look nice. And you're just sitting there going, shit, shit, shit. Components are reused by the endpoint produces the components. Just think of a real-time nature. That's why right now I'm just thinking UDP. I'm just purely thinking UDP right now. Right? UDP. Is HA, let's see, a JS library that's aspect oriented? I have no idea. Those are all words I don't understand. Missing style? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Escalol. Thank you very much. I'm going to go pee one more time. Too much coffee, too much water. Then we're going to get started. All right, people. All right, people. Anyways, I'm going to do more polls. Imagine thinking the moon was real. Yeah, the moon ain't real, but everybody knows that. I don't feel like I need to read this because I already have one.
Oh, that scared me.
Why do I think that was lithium? Damn it, lithium. Damn it, lithium. We shared times together last night, and this is how you're repaying me? Damn, lithium. You got me. But thank you. Appreciate that. Many appreciations. Okay, I wanted to read this. By the way, this is an OCaml shop. They literally do OCaml. Millions upon millions of dollars. Okay, this battery guy has too much money. This big battery lobbery. I am just trying to pay you for last night. Okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. OCaml, though? OCaml. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn off alerts, everybody. And we're going to read this because this is actually kind of... I feel like this is kind of exciting. How Ahrefs... I don't know how to say their name other than Ahrefs. Ahrefs. Yeah. If you are a nerd, check out the essays. Well, I'm going to read the one you linked with TJ. There we go. Marker. Are you ready? Are you all ready? So I'm going to actually turn off the music this time because I've lost a couple videos and I'm freaked out about losing videos. I know it's an HTML tag. It's Ahref. Are you still planning on blue? What? Like blue P tags? What are we talking about? All right, there we go. Here we go. We're going to do this. Let's see. How Ahrefs saved $400 million in 3 years by not going to the cloud. All right. Let's hear about this. We just got done seeing DHH go all in on not the clouds. Clouds for IT infrastructure are so popular lately that moving into the cloud has become a trend. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. I'm not even sure how to say that. IS. Cloud provides multiple advantages: flexibility, low time for deployment, easy scaling, instant presence in many regions of the world, and many others. Yeah, these all sound like great things, right? These sounds great. Hi, YouTube! Hey, can everyone say hi, YouTube? Hi, YouTube. Hi. Hey, press the like button. Just press it now. Just press it. Just press the button! Jeez. Anyways, Let's see. Cloud service providers have become knowledgeable outsources of IT services, providing convenient and often easy-to-use services, except for AWS's interface, which was designed in the 90s by a series of back-end engineers. With excellent marketing, conferences, certifications, and cherry-picked use case scenarios, it's easy for one to think that clouds are the only reasonable destination for the IT of a modern business. This is true. This is true. This is true. But the cost of these outsourced cloud benefits are sometimes high. They're so high, we were concerned about whether our business could exist if our infrastructure was 100% in the cloud. This inspired us to make an actual comparison based on facts and logic, not your feelings. And here what they are. Aref's own hardware overview. Okay, so this is kind of exciting. Okay, we're getting kind of excited here. Let's see what happens. Aref's has a rented co-location data center in Singapore with a rather homogeneous infrastructure. So we decided to consolidate all the costs spent for this data center, divided them by the number of servers, and compare them to the cost of a similar installation in Amazon Web Services Cloud. Use this as the leading IaaS example. Okay, look at those. Look at how pretty that looks. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's all HTML. Can you believe this entire place just makes HTML? It's shocking. It's shocking how much HTML is made there. All right, our hardware is relatively new. The co-location contract started in the middle of 2020 during the peak of COVID-19 lockdowns. All the installed equipment has been bought since then. Our servers in the data center have similar configurations. The only difference is in the CPUs of 2 generations with the same number of cores. We use high core count CPUs, 2 terabyte RAM, and 2x 100 gigabits per server. Wow, that's a lot of gigawatts and even more terawatts of RAM. Look at how many terawatts of RAM that is. On average, our servers have about 16x 5 terabyte drivers. 16 by 15. I can't even do that kind of math. It's too big. That number probably doesn't even exist in real life. For the monthly cost calculation, we assume that all the hardware will be used for only 5 years. Okay, not bad. Okay, we decided to consider anything beyond 5 years a freebie. And based on this, the monthly part of the initial equipment cost is the original price divided by this. Okay, boom, 60 months. All the current costs, such as rent and electricity, are as of October 2022, although inflation affects us too. Trying to account for it makes these calculations much harder, so we've ignored it for now. Okay, but inflation, I would assume inflation affects everybody. Like if you're on AWS, your prices, have they slowly risen over the last little bit? I would assume they have to rise a little bit, because if electricity gets twice as expensive, one has to assume that AWS has to account for that somehow. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an AWS magic magician calculating their numbers. Well, yeah, I sound a little bit different today. I have this plugged nose. Me and my wife both have had a plugged nose for the last 3 days, and we don't know why. Why? You know, I don't know. The co-location payments consist of 2 major parts: rent and de facto consumed metered electricity. The electricity price has significantly increased since the beginning of 2022, but we calculated our monthly charges based on the latest higher electricity charges, not on the average for the whole rental period. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I like this approach. You take the high point. Don't take the average, because the average is always going to be pulled down by some previous non-inflated price, which would be lower. Therefore, we should give AWS an advantage. Okay, good. Also, if we pay for IP transit and dark fibre between the data centers and our point of presence. The following table shows our monthly spend per server. Server hardware takes up 2/3 of the overall monthly expenditure, while the data center rent with electricity, direct current, internet, I assume that's what it is. Isn't it AC? What the hell's DC doing in there? Internet service providers, ISP, with IP transit and dark fibre, DF, down to fiber. And internal network hardware make up the remaining 1/3. Okay, there it is, right here. Monthly cost, $1,500, 100%. This is per server. Something like that. AWS cost infrastructure. Since our co-location interview is in Singapore, we use AWS prices for their Asia Pacific Singapore region for comparison. The cost structure for AWS is different from the co-location. Unfortunately, AWS doesn't provide an EC2 instance with the number of cores we have. Ooh, this makes it hard. DC doesn't stand for data center. It stands for Diet Coke. Everybody knows that. So we have found an EC2 configuration with half the cores and 1 TB of RAM. Not as much gigawatts of RAM, but still pretty good. Pretty good. We then compare one of AREF server costs with the cost of 2 such EC2 instances. Is that fair? Because usually, is it true that when you get to bigger machines, you get some sort of discount as it scales upwards? Or does it go the other way because they're harder to get? I always forget which way it goes because I just don't, I'm never looking at cost charts. Either way. You know what I mean? I have no idea. Disconnect cloud. Is that what DC stands for? Wow, it's way off. Also, we consider long-term EC2 usage. Thus, we compared the lowest price of the 3-year reserved EC2 instance for 5 years on on-premise services. Oh, they went with the lowest price. They went with the highest on theirs and lowest on EC2. Apart from EC2 instances, we added elastic block storage, EBS. It is not, it is not an accurate replacement for directly attached storage, as we use big and fast drivers in the servers. To make things simpler, we choose cheaper GP3 EBS, much slower than ours, though. It cost consists of 2 parts, storage size and charges for IOPS. We keep 2 copies of data chunks on our servers, but we only order usable space in EBS. That takes care of the replication for us. We should consider the price of the GP3 storage size equal to the size of our drivers divided by 2. Okay, that's a lot of math. This is a lot of math. I'm not sure if I can do this. Do you understand the divided by 2? Because apparently they have some sort of doubling of things, and so they're just not doubling it here. I'm dizzy. I want to see Netflix's AWS bill. So do I. Let's see. We didn't add the cost of higher IOPS. Is that how you'd say this? You just call it IOPS, IOOPS, IOOPS, IOOPS? We also discarded various limitations EBS GPT-3 has. For example, GPT-3 max throughput instance is 10 gigawatts per second. At the same time, the performance of a single ICP Gen 4 NVMe driver is 6 to 7 gigawatts per second. Okay. And we have 16 of those working in parallel. Well, again, this is math I just can't do off the top of my head. 6 times 16? Impossible. So thus, it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but this approach should significantly reduce the cost of storage in AWS, giving it a further advantage. Unlike the co-location, AWS charges per gigabyte downloaded, not for bandwidth. So we roughly estimate our average download per server is, and use the figure in AWS network calculation. Okay, so far what I'm really reading here is that they did what I think is a fairly good comparison. You know what I mean? They're really trying to give a fairly reasonable take on them both. If they were to transport their service and drop some of these items, such as their suite storage, which is significantly faster, which can have significantly more, but then there's some weird ones, which is how much is it downloaded versus how much is it used, blah, blah, blah. But it looks like this thing is literally about, 11 times more? 12 times more? That's a lot. Upon consolidation of the above tables, we see that the imaginary AWS spending is much, much higher. Remember, they also use the best EC2 cost and the worst energy cost on their behalf, giving the EC2 the best advantage. They also aren't considering their double storage and only doing single storage. So they're doing a whole bunch of make it work stuff. A replacement EC2 instance with similar usable SSD space in AWS would cost us roughly the same amount of money for all 11.3 servers in a co-located data center. Accordingly, that means our 20-server rack would transform into just 2 servers. Do you want that or do you want that is what they're saying. This or this. This or this. So let's say we run our 850 servers during an actual 2.5 years of our data center usage. Once we compute the numbers, we can see the dramatic difference. 39 million, 408 million. Yikes. So to be fair, I think if you had that many servers, you might be able to negotiate a slightly better rate. So maybe we could multiply this by 0.85. Would that be fair? Could we say that just for fun? Even at that, it's still 9x more. This is, I don't know. Yeah, that might be a little too generous on my behalf. What about reserved instances? Yeah, that's still like 350 million. Yeah, it's still just a shit ton of money. I don't think so. Okay, let's just pretend we could. And so even if you say, hey, you know what? Your calculations are so wrong that you have to multiply this in half, right? You've assumed too much. Therefore, even if that were to happen, it's still 5x more expensive. 5x. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5x. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? So even if you're that far off, it's still that much more. We would need to pay AWS a whopping $400 million more to keep our infrastructure running in Singapore since 2020. One may think perhaps Ahrefs can afford this. It's true. Ahrefs is a profitable and sustainable company. So let's take a look at our revenue and use it in our calculations. Let's go! That being said, we are a private company and aren't obliged to publish our financial data, but one can find some information about Ahrefs revenue in the Straits Time article on Singapore's fastest growing companies in 2022 and 2023. These articles provide Ahrefs revenue figures for the years 2020 and 2021. We can linearly extrapolate revenues for 2022, which is actually usually linear extrapolation is pretty, like, it tends to over project given enough time. It's a rough estimate, but it is enough for us to draw some conclusions. All right. Boom. Boom. Extrapolation. Okay. We're going to make some more money. Yeah. Making money. Hell yeah. From the table, we can see that Ahrefs' total revenue for the last 3 years would be $257 million. But we also calculated that AWS costs would be $448 million for such a data center replacement. Thus, the company revenue wouldn't even be close to covering our 2.5 year AWS usage. Oof. Imagine if all of your money you ever made went to just having AWS. Imagine such things as that. Imagine having $0. What a result. But where would all of our profits go? As per this 20-year-old report by Dr. L.J. Hart Smith, for Boeing, if the prime manufacturer or system integrator cannot make his fortune by giving all his work away, who does benefit? The subcontractors, of course. This man saw into the future. The man was seeing in the future. It's crazy. This is actually crazy. It is good to remember that we already provided several advantages to AWS by using their higher than average electricity costs for our co-located data centers, calculating only storage parts of EBS and ignoring how slow the EBS storage is. Also, this data center is not only the only cost center for us. We spend money on other data centers, servers, services, people, offices, marketing, etc., activities, etc. Okay, so that's good. That is good to actually call out. Like, there are other costs involved in whatever you do. Therefore, Ahrefs would hardly survive if the cloud was our primary infrastructure destination. Other considerations. This article doesn't take into account other aspects that would make the comparison even more complicated. These include people skills, financial controls, cash flow, capacity planning depending on the load type, etc. Conclusion. Ahrefs has saved approximately $400 million by ensuring its infrastructure is not 100% in the IaaS. Can I call it an IaaS? Is that fine? In the IaaS. Cloud during the last 2.5 years. This figure is growing bigger, and we are currently starting another massive co-located data center with new hardware. While Ahrefs uses AWS benefits for hosting our front end in different parts of the world, the vast majority of Ahrefs infrastructure icebergs hide in the co-located with owned hardware. Ahrefs wouldn't be profitable or even exist if our products were 100% in AWS. If we could use a cloud-only approach, our infrastructure would cost would be 10 plus, I think 10x would be the proper term here, times higher, or 10 plus times higher. Okay, there we go. But because we don't do that, we can spend the money we save on actual product improvements and development. Got him. Consequently, having fast and better results means that our servers are much faster than what a cloud can provide, given its limitations. Our reports are also generated faster and are more comprehensive, as the time needed per report is shorter. This is actually a really interesting point, which is, again, I hate shitting on serverless, but serverless is a more expensive version of this eventually, right? At first, it's cheaper because you just don't have a lot of customers. But there does come a point where your usage dictates what kind of services you can use, and eventually it does get more expensive than just having your own version on AWS. But how much, I don't know. It depends on you because you got to take into account like people managing this. People are expensive. So like you have to have a certain cost factor that makes sense. It is easier to move off the cloud that to cloud. Yeah. $13K per month. So how many network engineers and infrastructure engineers to manage those servers? Also your own risk. Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So it depends on your size. I think this is the point, which is there is a size point in which it does matter. But at $13,000 a month, it doesn't matter. How I like to personally think about it is whenever I think about an employee, because what you really have with an employee is you have management, you have taxes as an employer that you have to pay to the government that you don't even pay to the employee. These include like Social Security, that's 6%. There's other things you're paying. There's a lot of taxes you're paying. There's effectively warehousing, housing, cubicle, equipment, all that crap you have to pay for. Plus, you have to then pay the employee itself. Then you got healthcare. Then you got 401k match. You got all these benefits, everything that goes into hiring an employee in a high-level network engineer, platform engineer, whatever you want to call it that runs this. I would just assume you're spending $1 million a year per employee, right? So you have to hit a certain level. You know what I mean? And so whatever that level is, I don't know what that is, but you have to plan for that. You know what I mean? Singapore is a pretty expensive country to pay for those costs too. Yeah. Retail pricing of AWS is only for startup and hobbyists. Enterprises get around a 50 to 70% discount. Yeah, I would assume they're also like I said, that's why I said cut this number in half. And you still, it still is really expensive. All right. Hold on, let's get to the right. Let's see. All right, let's see. On that note, I recommend CFOs, CEOs, and business owners interested in sustainable growth to consider and periodically reevaluate cloud benefits versus actual cost. While clouds are the natural go-to choice for early-stage startups, staying 100% in the cloud with substantial infrastructure may sink a company as it and its infrastructure grows. It's very. I mean, these are just really cool thought experiments to go through because. I think so there's, I think Donald Rumsfeld is the one that was popularized this saying, but I think it's older than anything he's done, which is there are known knowns, there are known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. But there's actually a fourth category he doesn't mention, which is there are unknown knowns. Why do you think something is accepted, right? Why do you think only ever hosting on AWS or some cloud provider is the only way you should ever build your company? That's an unknown known. You have accepted that, swallowed it, and regurgitated it as the only possible outcome. Is it the only possible outcome? I don't know. It sounds like there's multiple companies, right? Imagine hosting Donald Rumsfeld. Well, I'm not imagining that. I'm just quoting him. So it's kind of interesting, right? It's kind of interesting to think about that you have these built-in ideas that you may not realize why you have a built-in idea, right? It's also because DHH said so. Well, I mean, he said so. Obviously, he has the most matured opinion out of all of us. But I am totally on board with using AWS serverless, whatever the hell you want to use when you're starting up, or until it becomes a cost factor. Like Netflix, I think there's this interesting curve that probably does exist, which is once you get so big and you make so much money, it might make more sense to go back to the cloud. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I actually don't know, because how do you reasonably, again, very complicated. Very, very complicated. I'm not sure if there's a solid answer. Tom doesn't have any unknown anything. He's a genius. That's true. For a more mature company, migrating from the cloud to its own infrastructure is difficult. Is this DHH? Let's see. It will also be challenging to keep the company alive during the migration, but such a painful move may be what saves the company, and it can avoid paying an increased cut of its revenue to the cloud services. Yeah, big companies, FANG in particular, vacuumed the job market for many years. They have been hiring engineers to run their enormous data centers and infrastructure, leaving only a few smaller companies. But with the mass layoffs in big tech in the recent months, this may be an opportunity to reevaluate the approach to the cloud. Consider a reverse migration from the cloud and hire seasoned professionals for the data center world. Yeah, I mean, Netflix in some sense does this. We have our OCA network, right? So our OCA network delivers all the content across the world. We have the most effective content delivery network in the world. And so we deliver a 33% of the internet from it. which is crazy to think about. OCA stands for Open Connect Architecture. So if you just look up Open Connect Architecture, here. Open Connect. Netflix. There we go. You can learn all about Open Connect. It's super cool. It does everything. This is an exceptionally sophisticated content delivery network. Exceptionally sophisticated, right? It's crazy what it does. What about YouTube? I don't think YouTube transfers nearly as much data as Netflix. I'm pretty sure Netflix is the largest of all services. If I'm not mistaken, Netflix transfers more data than porn, which is crazy to think about. Because y'all are a bunch of degenerates who love porn. Or really, you're just addicted. You think you love it, but you're just addicted. I love smoking cigarettes. Okay, calm down. There's no way. It is crazy. It is crazy. No way. Yes way. Press X for doubt. Percent of internet traffic. Does it have, let's see. Most popular social platforms. Nice. Netflix. Yeah, this is unique viewing. YouTube should definitely win unique viewing. Oh man, where's the thing? They used to have like this really nice little pie graph that just showed what it is. It's 15%. Oh wow, we've fallen down in the last little bit. The real question is, how is Netflix? I hope we never do. What about the amount of servers needed to stream your videos? Well, that's what we have. We have a whole network for that. Yeah. You don't watch porn for 2 hours at a stretch, as you would a movie. You don't want 8 hours of something. Debunked. Your V-take. I'm not sure what a V-take is. Still, I think we might still destroy it. Anyways, how many racks? I would never know the answer to that. The answer is crazy. It's crazy how much is actually going on. Anyways, hey, pretty exciting. I really liked that article. That was awesome. How much? What is? That was a great article, huh? Everyone happy with that? I'm really happy about that. Are you happy? I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. Anyways, the name is considered cloud storage gen. Look at that. Look at that little wink I added at the end. That wink was nice. It makes everybody feel nice. You know what I mean? Doesn't it just make everybody feel nice? A little winky wink. Yeah, it's already over. Should I build a server in my garage? If you want to learn. Ugh. You should study whatever makes you excited. You know what I mean? How about some coding, huh? I do what I want. So think about that one next time. Imagine the local governments laying off their technical staff because they had a consultant sell them on all the benefits of the cloud, but not the real cost involved. Yeah, I mean, that has happened. I'm trying. PrimeTime? Yeah, baby. What's a good path to take into learning the web? You just gotta if you've already done game development, you can obviously learn fast. Build servers, build whatever, keep on going. You know what I mean? You just gotta start building. Just build stuff. Just build. Why is it called a building if it's already been built? That's impossible. I don't want to look at Twitter. I 90% hate Twitter right now. Why are you so adverse to self-hosted stuff? I run servers out of my home, and because I don't think it's that cheap. Oh my goodness, I gotta turn on alerts. We're gonna have a gunshot in the house, boys.
Costco.
Okay, so I'm not adverse to self-hosting. You just have to answer the
Costco.
question.
I love you.
Why are you hosting something that costs $5 a month on Linode? Like, how many years of Linode before you have the cost of a single item, right?
Welcome to Costco.
Okay, maybe it's 2 Linode instances, $10 a month.
That scared me.
Thank you. I'm just saying, it's just like one of those things where I think I'm not adverse to it. It's just not where I want to spend my time. $5 a month! You know what I mean? Why do you park in a driveway and drive in a parkway? Shut up. I hate this. When your internet goes down, your power goes out. Yes, these are other reasons why you should. Linode's greater than milk. Yeah, I mean, I could buy that. I could buy that. Thank you, Lightastor. Thank you for the 22 gifted subs. That's a very bizarre custom one you did, but thank you very much for that. And Glyphack, thank you. Winky Milky. Ugh. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. By the way, for those that don't know, oh my goodness, Lightastor, thank you for the tier 3. Let's go. For those that don't know, we did a joke this weekend. I don't even know where it's at. I did a joke this weekend because I wanted to win because people have been posting pictures of them drinking milk, and then we've made videos and blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to win the milk contest. And so I came up with this. That is how you win, okay? That is how you win the milk contest. I am officially I'm milking men. I'm milking men at 10 miles per hour, okay? I'm milking men at 10 mph. Thank you. What the fuck?
Welcome to Costco.
Milking. That was too milky, yeah. But then I got accused of racism all morning long. Because apparently some dick who's part of the racisms put milk in there, and now that means milk is racist, which means that me drinking milk means that I'm a racism. Or I just thought it was funny drinking milk. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. I mean, I know. Dang, milk is racist? I know. Damn, I had no idea. I had no idea. It's crazy, the take. Okay, it's crazy, the take. Like, I think I understand sort of where it gets from. I think the take goes a little something like this. There's only certain people that can drink milk, which I think is generally not Asian. I'm not sure if there's other groups that are well known for this, but I know that Asian culture is like largely, they're like 90% lactose intolerant, or 95, or some outstanding number, right? So there is some group of people with whom cannot drink milk. You didn't know that? Yeah, this is true. It's 80%. Like, yeah, it's some large number. Not true? Yeah, no, it is true. It is true. But Asia does not equal East Asia. Correct. That's the problem. Because people say the word Asia, but I don't think they mean Russia. Okay? I don't think they're talking about Russia. I don't think they're talking about all the same places. Yeah, and so there's this whole thing which is just like, what's happening? So there's this idea. Russia is also Europe. Russia is also Europe, but it's kind of like a shitty definition. I hate the definition of why Russia is Europe. Image of Asia continent. Continent. And so it's like, usually this is Russia. Usually that's a lot of Russia going on up there. There's a lot of Russia happening up there. But they change it. And so you have this whole problem, right? Where does Asia stop? Blah, 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 blah. But it is also kind of nutty that you take this idea that there's a group of people with whom are allergic. Therefore, if you drink milk, it is racist. I think that's how it goes. I think that's the thought process. And see, the problem is that there's a certain level of smartness that happens in people. John Lennox, so if you don't know who John Lennox is, he is the head of mathematics at Cambridge University, if I'm not mistaken. And he talks a lot about this, which is, like, here's something that's really interesting. Did you know, here, watch this. Before we do anything, watch this. This is actually really exciting. This is really exciting. Watch this. Percentages of belief in a God, right? Which one do you think has the highest? Let's see. No education, like didn't pass high school, bachelor's, master's, PhD. Which one do you think has the lowest percentage belief in God? Oh, wait for it. This is very exciting. See, typically people would select PhD, right? And you can see it happening right now because that's generally our thought process. And then you'd go here, then you'd go here, and then as the person gets dumber, you attribute more religion to them, right? That's generally, I think, what most people think. Well, it turns out that's actually completely inverted. It's actually people with no education that have the highest disbelief in God. And the people with more, it actually goes up as you go higher in education. There's a poll just recently done, a big thing that was just recently dropped that's called the inversion of how stupid you are. And that's one of the things cited on it. It was a very interesting study. But then the next big group is, so the problem is that a little bit of knowledge makes you dumb.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
A little bit of knowledge makes you dumb. You call bullshit? No, because what you're actually citing. So the reason why you think this is that there was a study done in the late 2010s, 2000 to 2010 by Richard Dawkins that said 92% of all PhDs don't believe in God or don't believe in any sort of higher power. So that's like where this idea comes from. But what he didn't tell you is that he asked his hand-selected group of 20 scientists that are in this circle with him, or however many scientists it was, 21, 17, whatever it was, some very small amount of scientists. He asked them in a meeting where they raised hands, and then he cited that in a book. And that's how you got to this knowledge. And so so this is my whole argument, is that when someone becomes just smart enough, you can make any jump you want, right? I can make so many jumps. I make so many conclusions about stuff because I'm just smart enough to think myself into that box, right? I'm just smart enough to make a jump anywhere. So by simply going, okay, here's what milk is, and this, and now I think it's racism, and then 4chan made a meme, therefore me posting about milk, I'm now a racist. Like, it just requires enough logical jumps that eventually I'm the racism, right? Like, that's just how it works, right? It's crazy how it works. The midwit meme is real. It really is. The midwit meme is super real, and I'm a midwit. I do the exact same stupid stuff, right? It's crazy. We all got the disease. That's the thing, is if you think you are smarter, oh my goodness. There is the, oh my goodness. Dude, I swear I got a great one. I swear there's like where's the midwit meme? There's something funny here and I don't know how to say it yet. Right? Something along this lines. There's some meme here that I have to think about that's actually really funny. I just don't know how to I don't know how to say it yet, which is that everyone realizes that they're stupid except for the person that doesn't think they're stupid. They're like, no, actually, what's really happening is I know all the facts about life and everything. And blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, okay, slow down. Slow down. Stop it. Stop it. There you go. Dude, we're all just one giant Dunning-Kruger. We're all just one gigantic Dunning-Kruger effect. Right? We are all literally one, and it's okay. I don't care. It me. I'm that guy, and that's okay. This isn't quite the meme I want, but I don't have time to really phrase it correctly, so I'm just going to go with it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to go with it. Right? I'm too enlightened to my own stupidity, therefore I'm not stupid. Yeah, we're all stupid. It's okay. No, don't get offended that you're dumb. Be happy that at least you know you're dumb. IQ-related meme after being accused of racism? Absolutely. Oh, shit. Dang it! I'm gonna be racism again. Okay, it's not that. Damn it. Damn it. I'm like trying here. Shame on you. I know. I anyways, let's go to this. It is funny because I'm better than everyone and y'all are midwits. Prime. Yep. There we go. That's me. All right. Why is work not your friend? I think this is pretty new by Amos, and I don't want to watch it until it's a little bit older. So we'll wait. Let's see. We already watched this one, so let's hide this one out. At the top, you can see TSJS Dev worried about the current state of the web development. At the bottom, you can see Prime and his own are worried without one single fuck. It's so true. This is very, very true. I just have no cares in the world, and I just like tweeting dumb stuff. And I really do think this is actually just a kind of a fun point right here, which is don't worry too much on tech Twitter. Honestly, I think part of the reason why everyone is just so burnt out right now is because people won't stop being just so upset about everything, right? It's like a constant drive towards whose fault is it for what I'm experiencing. You know what? Who cares? I don't like React. Who cares though? Who cares that I don't like React? Real talk. Why are you caring that I don't like something? I like something else. I think Rust plus Leptos is pretty dang good. Guess what? That doesn't make me an expert in anything but shit. Okay? Stop. Stop. Stop being so upset. You don't realize we could have, like, imagine how much fun Netflix, or not Netflix, tech Twitter could be if we all could just take a moment and have just a little bit more fun and a little bit less concerned about everything. Like this poor guy, you know what? However you feel about Dan, the man is just being rolled constantly about his decisions. Let him build his thing. If you like it, talk about it. Show what you built. If you don't like it, just say, I don't really like it, whatever. That's fine. Nobody cares. Why are you guys being so upset about stuff? Dude, stop with the senior div. The birth and death of... Ooh, okay, I want to do that one. Let's do that one. Okay, so... Okay, we'll watch this one.
Welcome to Costco.
I'm worried about watching this one, okay? I'm worried. Oh, it's really long. I don't know if I want to watch that long. I don't want to watch that long. It's too long, too long, too long, too long, too long. 15, 16 minutes. It really has to be a good topic.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I'm not sure if that's a good enough topic for that one. You know what I mean? That's a lot of long. Oh my goodness, it's another video. I don't even get to know how long this video is. 30 minutes! Dude, I swear, people. I swear. Get him out of here. All right, I gotta go pee once more. I know I've peed so many times. I just gotta go. I'll be right back. I gotta go. Okay, I think I drank too much coffee this morning. I think I've drinking too much coffee this morning. Okay. Okay, I think this kind of seems interesting, I guess. Did we get some upvotes? We did get one upvote. Yeah, there is this new using keyword. I did want to look at this whole using keyword. But it says new JavaScript keyword, which I think is actually only a TypeScript keyword, if I'm not mistaken. Using TypeScript keyword. If I'm not mistaken, it's only... It's a TypeScript. Yeah, see, it's a TypeScript new word. It's not I don't think it... I mean, is it? I can't tell. Is using a... Okay, I actually want to look at this. Oh, it's phase 4? Okay, so it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's actually a real thing. It's a JS thing. TS just adds it early. Okay. Using. Okay. All right. We'll do the Fireship one next. All right, there we go. TypeScript 5.2. New keyword using, which is also apparently, as I've been told reliably by chat, the least degenerate group of people in the universe, that this actually is a JavaScript feature. It's in stage 4. It's using Sparkle's using. There we go. TypeScript 5.2 will introduce a new keyword using that you can use to dispose of anything with the symbol .dispose function when it leaves scope, which is kind of interesting. Right away, I started thinking, this is like drop light from Rust. And I wonder what it means by leave scope. Are they actually...
Welcome to Costco.
Thanks for leaving alerts on. Okay, I left alerts on. I left an alert. Effectively, it's like you get a destructor to be called when something leaves scope. I'm very curious what they mean by this, because it's kind of crazy. Right? It's kind of crazy to think that we would ever want this in JavaScript. I'm going to be real here. I'm extremely skeptical that this is a good idea. We'll see. This is based on TC39 proposal, which recently reached stage 3, indicating that it's coming to JavaScript. Using will be extremely useful for managing resources like file handles, database connections, and more. Yeah, I figured this would be the use case, right? Because this is just destructors. Destructors available in JavaScript. We'll see. Let's see. Is a new global symbol in JavaScript. Anything with the function assigned a system.dispose will be considered a resource, an object with a specific lifetime, and can be used with the using keyword. Okay. Await using. You can also use async dispose and await using. Oh, this is beautiful. To handle resources which need to be disposed asynchronously. Get resource. Async. Some await function. Beautiful. Await using resource. This seems exciting. This will await the symbol async dispose. Okay, so actually I do have a little bit of a hard time here. What exactly goes on in this code? I'm having a hard time kind of walking through this in my head. So when I see the term await, I assume that this will stay until whatever is happening is finished. Get resource is not async. Right? It's a function that returns something. So I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time trying to understand this. Meaning that when does using get kicked on? Using must get kicked on at the end of the scope, but why is the await word here, which makes it hard? Because I assume you'd go await using resource equals resource. Then you do some code. Then at the end of this at the end of this scope, then it would dispose it, which would also be awaited. Am I correct on that? The problem is this example is just not big enough for me to understand. No, text heavy, that makes less sense because you don't need to await that. Yeah, the dispose is automatic. No, trust. Okay, I understand how get resource works. If you look at the code, it's right here. It's a function. See, first off, this is why I hate, I despise that this is like current JavaScript style. It feels like the most try-hard, annoying feature of all time. Why don't people just do this? I don't understand it. Why are you just not making it clear? I don't get it, right? Like, I just don't understand why people have to do that. I don't get it. I mean, sure. Why don't you just make this a reality in JavaScript, okay? Make FN a function if you want to. It just makes no effing sense that you do this. The amount of symbols and the fact that you have to wrap this thing with the parenthesis to tell you it's actually returning this thing. I like arrow functions, but they have meaning, okay? They have actual meaning. Second off, yes, a class would be better here because every single time you call this function, you actually generate a new object, plus you generate a new function, right? You're generating new items. This isn't nearly as optimized as a class can be because classes are obvious what you're attempting to optimize, right? Whereas this isn't. I have always hated this pattern. So right now I don't understand the execution order because here, in my head here, let me go like this. Here. Whoopsies. Like, don't get me wrong. I do love arrow functions when they're used properly. Okay, so I see this. My question is, can I do things here? Then does a resource get disposed here? There we go. Right? So would it look something like this? Then I'd go something like resource dot, do something, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Copilot. And then I could await that, right? Which actually what's happening here. Okay, so this is what's actually happening here then. Which code, I don't, they should have used the term defer or something. So what's actually happening here is this. Const resource equals get resource, await do something, await resource dot async disposal. That's what's happening. And there could be more. There actually, well, you're right. There actually could be more. There actually could be a hidden try catch somewhere in here that we're missing as well. Right? There very well could be a hidden try catch that's going on as well. It disposed in the correct order. Yes, it disposed in the correct order. But I just, this line sucks. And what I mean by this line sucks is that this await doesn't happen where you think it does. What I would much rather see in something is something like deferred resource dot dispose, right? And then if your dispose is async, you can await that, right? This, on the other hand, is very clear what's going to happen, right? You know for a fact that this gets executed at the end of the item, whereas this await is actually an await further down the chain. I feel, yeah, if you went like this, that means this function would have to be async, right? Oopsies. Right, that's what that means. I just don't like the lot. I mean, yes, it's not hard to understand what's happening. I just like better words here. Me personally, better words here. Okay, I like better words. That's a me personally kind of thing. I don't like what I see. I don't like what I see because I don't like it. Right? Because I don't like that await doesn't have an effect here, but later on. It looks confusing in my head. What I'd rather see is something like this. Using that's a function that you have to do like get resource, and then then you have this and then it manages it at the end, right? It does, and then you can await that. Because now I can read this from left to right. If we're not doing defer, I can read this from left to right. I can tell right away that I will await the end of this thing, and we'll get the resource, and then we'll do our async stuff, and when it's done with that function, it will actually await the results and await the disposal. To me, this makes 10 times more sense than having, you just have to have that knowledge. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not sure if I like it, okay? Me personally, okay? It's a me personal thing. I understand you may love it. Anyways, let's see. Yeah. Okay, file handles. Yep, these are great. You always want to do this, right? This is just like such a great thing to do. People forget how useful this is, and sometimes you forget to close your file handle, which is also a little bit surprising. I just assume that the moment this thing is GC'd, it also gets closed, but you probably don't want it open that long, right? I understand why you want this, in the sense that you don't want to have to wait for GC to close your file handle. You would much rather have your file handle close right away, correct? So instead, you'd have something like this, right? I really am not loving this pattern. Yeah, I don't really love the pattern. I don't love the pattern, but I get it. GC doesn't close the file handle when really? So it's just permanently opened? Huh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. That's why you should just always close your files, huh? Database connections. Yeah, this also, again, this makes sense. I understand why people want this. I'm not arguing that I like the idea of defer. I'm arguing that this is a strange way to say defer. Right. This is just a strange way to say defer. Not sure if I love it. This is also, I mean, this is really kind of crazy syntax as well. That you're actually lifting out the value of connection while having the dispose be a part of some outer thing. It's pretty wild. The idea is nice. I like it. I don't mind it. Thank you, Matt, for throwing this. I like how Matt has his signature on his website. Look at that. Matt has his signature on his website. I don't have a signature on a website. JS getting stranger. I'm not sure if JS is that great, but I do like that he has an async function main. Look at that. He has a main function in JavaScript. Look at it go. Look at it go. Yeah, I don't like the look of it, but whatever. I'll just get used to it. You know I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to be using it, right? I'm going to use it. It's going to be great. I'll be happy that I have it. I'm just not stoked about it. You know what I mean? I'm just not I'm just not in love with it, you know? The dispose symbol is defined by libraries. Yeah, I will defer judgment on it. I will be async using judgment on it. It's extremely useful, absolutely, because then you don't have to do try catch. Whoopsies. Hey, unnecessary dick riding, buddy, with your extremely useful. Okay, it's nice. I'll give it to you. I'll give that to you. Okay, it's nice, but that's all I'm giving to you. Okay. They're saving the defer keyword for the unavoidable, unfortunate future where they introduce defer and they make a typo. Deref and make it. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. What about dict writing? Using. Beautiful. It looks like resources don't compose. It doesn't. Well, yes, it really looks like. Well, in this example, all resources are like inlined, which probably isn't a great way to go about things. I don't think it's great. I wonder if classes are more performant than just objects like this. I've never actually done any sort of testing to find out the differences. But it'd be kind of interesting to see what is the consequence of programming like this versus the consequence of programming differently. They should be, yes. Typically, that's how I would think, because you're signaling to the compiler that this shape is like, well, first off, you don't have to ever recreate a function, right? You're recreating functions here. You only have one function ever created. So you would assume that it's better. But, it's JavaScript. You can't. It's not that minor. There's some crazy things that will destroy. There's crazy things that will destroy your performance in JavaScript. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's similar to the iDisposable. Yeah, it is. But still, kind of hard. I want to avoid the monkey and banana problem. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but I appreciate you for saying that. You know what I mean? Hey, guess what? The name is the DisposalGen. There we go. V8 is also crazy. V8 is crazy. V8 is crazy. Turning alerts back on. Confirm Java is greater than JavaScript.
I love you.
Yeah. Using, use, keyword using, use, using, use. Imagine a world without JS. I don't know if you could imagine a world without JavaScript. Hey, Lightosaur, again, thank you for all that you've done today. I don't know if you could. I think it's too hard. Zero sum. Let's go. Porque Maria. Tokyo! Lazy Guru, thank you very much for that tier 1. Let's go. Razzle Storm, thanks for the remembering alerts. Hey, no problem, buddy. Crispo, 99999, thank you. Undef Null, let's build all the things we do want to. Porque Maria. Metal Cat, 4 months. Let's go, baby. Hey, and Malfiat Robin, thank you for the tier 1 30 months. Look at that. 30 months, Robin. 30 months. That's incredible. Sam the Black Cat, thank you for the 100 biddies. Raging and Maxims.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Damn, you're going to give it to me raw? Thank you for the tier 1 5 months. Let's go. I think I already said thank you for some of those. Thank you, Zero Sum 19. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Try and catch me, daddy. Oh, baby, I'm trying to catch you raw. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Is making TypeScript easy for C# devs? Yeah, probably. Utstor, thank you. Utstor.
I love you.
You remind me of Utrid. How much do you earn from affiliate marketing? None. I don't really do affiliates. I think technically, I probably earn like maybe $100 a year. I think these are affiliate. Well, this one's not even affiliate marketing. These ones are. I got too lazy. This one isn't. I don't earn anything from this one. You can get money off this one, but you should just do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No way am I going to ever. I just don't think affiliate marketing is a great way. You know, I know you can earn a lot of money. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you can't earn a lot of money. I'm just saying I don't know if I want to earn money from affiliate marketing. You know what I mean? I don't think I want to do that. Twitch Prime
Welcome
subscription, thank you very much. Twitch Prime
I love
subscription to me. Twitch Prime.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
The name is a skill issue. Spion669, thank you. Are you already making you already make enough money? It's not even that. It's not even that. It's not that at all. I would take sponsorships if I found the right sponsorship. I don't want to do affiliate marketing because I feel like affiliate marketing is. It feels like you're just constantly just trying to push
Welcome to
something.
Costco.
And I don't know how I
love
feel
you.
about that. Hey, thank you. Pascua. Appreciate that. Performance is good. Yeah. Pascal, thank you. NJS literals are greater than protofuncs is greater than ES. CDs nuts. I don't know if that's true. Like, where do you get this information from? Are you just making it up? Advice for dev living in a third world country. I don't. I've never lived in a third world country.
Welcome
I have
to
no
Costco.
advice. I could never possibly
you.
give you advice. I could never possibly tell you what you should and shouldn't do. But I can tell. The only things I can tell you, I think, are universal stuff, which is no matter what you do, doing the best you can do
It
will
turns
get
on
you
your
the furthest.
bad feelings into good feelings.
That's all I know. Now, I can't tell you how much your country's going to hold you back. I can't tell you how much your economy is going to hold you back. I can't tell you how much language barriers are going to hold you back. I can't tell you anything else. But being the best you can be is all you can do, right? You can't change the world. No matter how much we wish we could, you can't do that. Miss Chelstastic, thank you for the tier 1 given. 17 the channel, appreciate the same Black Cat. Thank you for the 100 biddies. You look much better than Dr. Disrespect. I don't know about that. That's all I can do. That's, as much as you want to, no matter what, as much as you want the change, it doesn't work that way. Typically, I hate most people's measurements. Real talk, I hate most people's measurements. Okay? I hate most people's measurements. See, this doesn't work. This is such a shitty way to run tests. This is by far the worst way to run tests. You have absolutely no idea what you're looking at and why. Okay? This is terrible. This is a terrible way to run tests. Okay? I want you to understand this thoroughly and clearly. Don't do this. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. This looks great. Look at that. Look at that. It looks so fast. It looks so fast. But trust me, that's not how micro benchmarks work. It's just not. This is called a micro benchmark. You could prove anything you wanted to.
Welcome to Costco.
right?
I love you.
You could prove anything you wanted to, and that's the hard part, right? Run it twice, it gets abysmally different results. Well, even that. We need a story about performance tests in Netflix. Why? Let's see, to do is to get skillful in what you could choose to do, and try to get a network of individuals who are on the same path or ahead of you, and to always communicate your skills and goals properly. Yeah, I mean, those are good. That's good. Like, but this is good any advice, right? This doesn't matter where you live. Pick a place. This helps, but you're limited by the place. I'm just mad about left pad. I am. You're at the tippity top of the stack, but you're only halfway up. Think about it. Dr. Disrespect did not inspire me to stream. I streamed before I discovered Dr. Disrespect. Hate to ask an off-topic question. All right, then let's not do it. Always communicate your intentions. Right? I'm just saying. I live in a village and do nothing apart from chilling. Chill on, my friend. How do I connect my Discord? You got a long way to go, buddy. You got a long way. All right, I'm going to try to get TJ on here. Did Tom inspire you to read the interpreter book? Yes. I began learning Java after seeing 900,000 L4 jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts about Twitter's restrictions? Touch grass if you hit them. More W's, I think. Yeah. In fact, I've explicitly stated my intention about it. Here you go. There you go. That's how I feel about Twitter's new restrictions.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Okay. There you go. I was gone a few weeks. Are you done with Zig? Unsure. The thing about Zig is that how I feel about Zig is that it just doesn't offer enough to make it compelling yet. The internet is dying. I don't know if I want to read this. Have I ever coded on stream? Nah, never coded on stream. Why would I code?
I love you.
Why would I ever open up an editor and jump around and do all my fancy Vim moves for you guys for free, okay? That's OnlyFans, dog. That's OnlyFans. Eternal Atal, thank you, and Keenek, thank you very much. That benchmark link was sent to you that you would recreate the class at each iteration, so it's completely unfair comparison. There's a lot of things that are unfair. There's a lot of things. See, the thing is, again, until you go create a server and do a real test, it doesn't count. It's all bullshit. Create a server and measure your RPS. Only true measurement. Xbox. You can't be out here coding like that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Steve-O Bandito. Where's TJ? We're going to get him. All right. I'm going to just join. Tomorrow, though, we're going to do more HTMX and Rust. Tonight, we'll do more HTMX and Rust. So if you're on in the evening, evening being 10 hours from now, I'll be streaming again, and I'm going to be doing HTMX and Rust. So we'll be whoopsies. We'll be doing this, right? So I'm going to go in here, and I want to make to-do MVC using purely a server. I don't even know the goals of to-do MVC. I don't even know what else to do, right? But I'm going to do it. So there you go. Very exciting. Don't check the VOD. It will be on, here, hold on. It will be, here, let's see, here. I can just, youtube.com/ThePrimeagen, right? It'll be right here. Dang it, I really need to get that proper. It will be right here. See, I just did HTMX. Me going through HTMX for an hour. Right? I'm understanding HTMX, so you can understand what HTMX is about. This is my coding channel.
Welcome to Costco.
This is proof.
I love
okay,
you.
this is proof right here that you guys say you want to see coding, but you actually don't want to see coding. Okay? You guys actually don't want to see coding. You say that. But then you jump over here, and I somehow have way more views. 257,000 views. Way, way more. Okay? This one, not even close. Not even close.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Not even close. I want to see you code some reaction content. As long as I don't have to do React. I'm definitely planning on watching those videos. I'm definitely planning on watching them. Trust me, I'm planning. I'm planning on it. Okay, tough guy. Okay, tough guy. I'm also planning on learning French. Porque Maria. See, look how good I am already. Hey, a Brain Thief, thank you very much for that brand new Twitch Prime. Naviman, thank you very much. Keep up the hey, no problem. Appreciate that. I'm just Jack. Vim Motions and my coworkers think I'm crazy, but I'm loving life. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Keenan, I already said thank you, but thank you again for that tier 1. We're also going to get, by the way, Grug is coming on stream. I don't know if you know this. Greg. Grug is coming on stream in about 3 weeks. Learning French harder than OCaml? Probably. It is kind of crazy. I will agree with you on this one, but it is 8K people watching me program for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Kind of cray-cray, huh? All right, let me ping TJ. I don't know where the hell he's at. He's supposed to be ready at this point. Boom, just typed in QWERTY. It's wrong to be French. Oh, it is? Crazy. Grug is coming in my stream in 2 weeks. Oh, nice. It's funny you should say that. Mine is actually 1 week and 5 days, Travi. Yeah. What happened to the other channel, The Prime Review? It was never mine. It still exists, I think. I don't know. It's never been mine. The Prime Review is not mine. The Prime Review, right? Or the Startup Review. That's Ben Shapiro. Apparently that's not it. The Startup Review. I don't even know how to find it. I got K-drama, which book best for startups, Startup Review, and I'm not sure what happened here. K-drama. I am not Ben Shapiro. I am not. This is not. Ben does not wear a hoodie, y'all. Okay? Okay? Have you considered game dev videos? No. What does it mean to thread through a parent pointer? I'm not even sure what that means. Is that what it's called? A kippa? I don't know what it's called. Ben Hodiria. That's actually pretty funny. Is that what it's called? I have no idea what that thing's called. Jumped on the bandwagon of Twitter, Reddit, 10x engineering, and so on to generate views. I'm not really into that. Where's TJ? TJ, where the hell is TJ? If TJ's not here in 2 minutes, I'm gonna have to go on without him. He's supposed to be here at 10. We do this every time at 10. All right, hold on. I gotta find out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tuna the Cuber. I gotta find out. You've been giving the weirdest messages. I just want to make sure you're not being weird. Okay. Okay. I'm just making sure you're not too weird. Just making sure you're not too weird. You're giving me some weird vibes there for a second. Numbers. Thank you, Betty. Furry equals weird. Okay, yes. When I see too much or too much sorry, outside with kiddos. I thought we'd be back by now. Probably can't make it today. Okay, so TJ cannot make it, so I guess we're reading HTMX without TJ. Okay? We're doing the HTMX without TJ. I'm sorry. Marker. Why HTMX? 49 months and you say, damn, switch up. You switched up. Dude, Flip, you know I'm out there fondling your private messages all the time, okay? I don't know why. What do you want me to say, Flip? Okay, I love you, Flip. Out of all the degenerates on Twitch right now, I like you the most, okay? Okay?
Welcome to Costco.
Frost?
I love you.
I like you, but I don't like you as much as Flip Edits, okay? I don't want you to feel bad about that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Start. All right, here we go. We're going to start that. Sorry, I got to minimize some things. I'm turning off the music right now because I'm just freaked out that I'm going to get just boned by recording. My parasocial relationship! No! Yes, HTMX. When you learn React JSX and you say, hell no. I actually think JSX is like not a terrible abstraction. I kind of like JSX. I really hate that you have to compile it though. Or you have to transpile it into something that can be then ran in. Like, I hate that. That's one reason why I do love Rust. I know somehow I made this about Rust. Is that you can make a macro that literally makes like JSX, but it's just compiled the normal way you'd build a Rust program. To me, that's the ultimate. When you don't have to understand, you don't have to have like a transpiler for every flavor of the day. It just works. That's all it does. It just works. That's how it works. That is it. I like that. Okay, anyway, so why should you use hypermedia? The trade-off, though, is that a uniform interface degrades efficiency, since information is transferred in a standardized form rather than one in which is specific to the application needs. Absolutely, this is true. The REST interface is designed to be efficient for large-grain hypermedia data transfer, optimized for the common case of the web, but resulting in an interface that is not optimal for other forms of architectural interaction. Roy Fielding. Okay, I can buy this. I mean, in the sense that if you build output specifically for your needs, right? So if you went and you used a full binary format, you did zero allocation architecture, and you went all in on it, you could make something that's extremely performance-based, like just based all around. But it's only for your application. That's like, like you can imagine all games, they don't just use JSON and transfer that over UDP to go through players' position updates, right? That'd be crazy. You wouldn't be able to have a game if you're trying to do JSON encoding and decoding. They're going to use something significantly more efficient. But you'd make a trade-off when you do that, right? No matter what you use, you always make a trade-off. Let's see. Hypermedia is often significantly less complex than a SPA approach would be for many problems. Okay, reasonable. I forgot to put this. We are obviously fans of hypermedia and think that it can address, at least in part, many of the problems that the web development world is facing today. Okay, I agree. Hypermedia allows your application API to be much more aggressively refactored and optimized. Okay. Hypermedia takes the pressure off of adopting a particular server technology, since you do not have extensive JavaScript front-end code base. Okay, yes. With HTMX and the additional UX possibilities that it gives you, we believe that many modern web applications can be built using HTML and the hypermedia paradigm. So this is HTMX in a nutshell. That's what it's doing. So, with that being said, as with all technical choices, there are trade-offs associated with hypermedia. In this article, I'll give you some ways to think about it if hypermedia will be a good fit for your application or a feature you are building. This is beautiful, by the way. Notice right here that there's no, this is the way to build this the best. It's just, this is good. I like it. Here are reasons you could like it, but it may not be for you. This is probably a much better way to sell any sort of framework ever, right? Because that's not typically how you're sold on Twitter. Typically how you're sold on Twitter is, if you're not using this, you're falling behind. If you're not doing this, you're doing the wrong thing. Let's find out. Transitional applications and hypermedia. Before we get into details of when hypermedia is a good choice, we would like to clarify that adopting hypermedia is not an either-or decision when building a web application. For most single-page applications utilize hypermedia after all, as a bootstrap mechanism to start the application. Absolutely. In his talk, Have SPAs Ruined the Web? Rich Harris gives us the term transitional applications. That is the application that mix both hypermedia and non-hypermedia SPA concepts. Ooh, I kind of want to watch that at some point. That is applications that mix both. Oh, whoopsies. We have responded to Mr. Harris's talk in more detail here. Ooh, we're going to have to look at that. But suffice to say, we violently agree with him that a pragmatic transitional approach to the web development is the best. You should use the right tool for the particular job you are working on. Okay, so again, I'm on board with this. I'm fully on board with this. Let's see, where we would like to disagree with Mr. Harris is where the line is between features that can be implemented effectively in hypermedia and features that require a more sophisticated client-side approach. We feel that with HTMX, hypermedia can go much, much further than many web developers today believe is possible. And further that, for many applications, it can address many or all of our UX needs. Okay. Seems a little crazy. Hypermedia is a good fit if your UI is mostly text and images. If the mother of all HTMX demos, David Guilo, how do you say that name? I'm just going to say it, I'm going to just call it Guilot. David Guilot of the Contexte show how to replacing React with HTMX leads to a 67% reduction in total code base, along with numerous other eye-popping results. As a result, we would like to claim that every team moving from React to HTMX would experience these results. The fact is that the Contexte web application is extremely amenable to the hypermedia style. So I guess I'd have to look at this. Here, let me just pop this thing up really quickly. Is there like an example? Oh, I guess we'd have to watch this one. We'll look at this. Django Con. The Django. The Django. Yeah, right. All right, anyways. All right, if your UI is cruddy, another area where hypermedia has a long track record of success is cruddy web applications in the Ruby on Rails style. If your main application mechanic is showing forms and saving the forms into a database, hypermedia can work very well. With HTMX, it can be very smooth and not constrained to a simple list view, detailed view approach many server applications take. Okay, if your UI is nested with updates mostly taking place in well-defined blocks. Okay, one area where the hypermedia can start going a little wobbly is when you have a UI dependency that spans structural areas of the screen. A good example of this, and one that often comes up, is when discussing the hypermedia approach, is the issue count number shown in the Issues tab in GitHub. Okay. For a long time, when you close an issue on GitHub, the issue count on the tab did not update properly. GitHub, in general, although not exclusive, uses hypermedia-style application. Ah, exclaims the spa enthusiast. See, even GitHub can't get this right. Well, GitHub fixed the issue, but it does not demonstrate a problem with a hypermedia approach. How do you update disjoint parts of the UI cleanly? HTMX offers a few techniques for making this work. And Contexte, in their talks, discuss handling the situation very cleanly using this approach. Okay, because this is like a very typical problem, which is that you just have various parts of your UI that when new data gets updated, you could have multiple things updating at once. I feel like I understand this. I get this. Event approach. Typically, we would just use a bunch of JSON, right? You communicate up in JSON, you get back JSON, and we just go da 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 da. Yep. Let us grant that this is an area where hypermedia approach can get into trouble. To avoid this problem, one potential strategy is to co-locate dependent elements for a given resource within a given region or area of the screen in an application. An example, consider the contact application whose details for screen for displaying and editing a contact has an area for basic contact information, an area for contacts emails, count, blah, 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 an area for contacts phone number and the count of those phone numbers. The UI could be laid out in the following manner. Okay, that makes sense. Everything looks just fine. In this scenario, each subsection has its own dedicated hypermedia endpoints. Okay, perfect. The trick here is that the email and phone counts are co-located on the screen with their collection, which allows you to target just that particular area for updating. Okay, I mean, I get what they're trying to say here, which is just you can limit all, like, notice that all these changes are very limited to their region. And so co-locating data to changes or co-locating screen real estate to changes, I mean, I get the idea. I don't know if I want to be constrained that way, but I get the idea. Right? I get the idea. Do I like it? I don't know. Right? An area effectively, let's see, each area effectively forms a sort of server-side component, independently of the other areas on the screen. They all are nested within a broader contact detail user interface. Yeah. So this is probably one thing that React Server Components really tries to highlight or do well, is that each one of these allows, you can just take this component and put it somewhere else and it just works. And so how do you do that effectively in HTMX? I don't know yet, but it seems kind of exciting. A side note, UI-driven hypermedia APIs. Note that our previous hypermedia API in our endpoints, in this case, is driven by the UI. If we have a particular UI layout that we want to achieve and we adapt our API to that, if the UI changed, we would have no qualms with the complexity changing our API to satisfy the new requirements. This is a unique aspect of developing with hypermedia, and we discuss more detail here. Okay. Of course, there may be UI requirements that do not allow for grouping of dependent elements in this manner, and if this technique mentioned above aren't satisfactory, then it may be time to consider an alternative approach. Okay, perfect. This is great, right? This is actually a really great argument for when you should and shouldn't use it. If you need deep links and good first rendering performance, a final area where hypermedia outperforms the other options is when you need deep links. That is, links to your application that go beyond the landing page, or when you need excellent first render performance. Since hypermedia is natural language of the web, and since browsers are very good at rendering HTML given a URL, this approach is hard to beat for traditional web features such as these. Is this true? Do we have a yes or a no on this one? I can't tell. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell if that's a yes or no. Why does it have better performance? Couldn't React render the same thing? Where's the best place to subscribe? If you're not on YouTube, hitting that subscribe button, then go to Twitch and drop that Amazon Prime. For me, Prime. Who's on Amazon? But Amazon won't let me legally recognize that I am Amazon Prime, okay? They don't like that because they already have an Amazon Prime. So if I say I'm both, then I might as well just call this a Rust stream and get in trouble with the foundation. Shee! If your UI has many dynamic interdependencies, as we discussed in the above section, nested UIs, one area where hypermedia can have trouble is when when there are many UI dependencies spread across your UI and you can't afford to update the whole UI. This is what Roy Fielding was getting at in the quote at the top of the article. The web was designed for large-grain hypermedia data transfers, not for a lot of small data exchanges. Particularly difficult for hypermedia is to handle when these dependencies are dynamic. That is, they depend on information that cannot be determined at the server-side rendering. A good example of this is something like a spreadsheet. A user can enter an arbitrary function into a cell and introduce all sorts of dependencies on the screen on the fly. Okay. I would, that makes sense. I guess, yeah, it probably makes more sense to have something else, right? However, for many applications, the editable row pattern is an acceptable alternative to a more general spreadsheet-like behavior. And this pattern does play well with hypermedia by isolating edits within a bounded area. Okay, so in other words, if your application has changes in which cause many disparate components to update, then probably not good. If you require offline functionality, hypermedia distributed architecture leans heavily on the server side for rendering representations of resources. When a server is down or unreachable, the architecture will obviously have trouble. It is possible to use service workers to handle offline requests, although this is a complex option. Agreed completely. And it is easy to detect when hypermedia application is offline and show the offline message. And many thick client applications do as well. Absolutely. I mean, if you're offline and you try to go on Twitter, it's not like you're going to have a great experience all of a sudden. Just because they don't use HTMX, right? It doesn't make any sense with that. But if your application requires full functionality in offline environment, then hypermedia approach is not going to be an acceptable one. Okay. If your UI state is updated extremely frequently. Another situation where hypermedia is not going to be a good approach is if your UI state is updated frequently. A good example is an online game that needs to capture mouse movements. Putting a hypermedia network request in between a mouse move and a UI update will not work well, and you would be far better off writing your own client-side state management for this game and syncing with the server using a different technology. Absolutely. So this makes sense, but I mean, this is, in some sense, Stadia. Stadia did this. So one could argue you could use this approach if you want Stadia-like performance. Which, is that good? Is that bad? Probably not what you're wanting. If you're writing a purely server-side rendered game, that's a lot of effort. And so I think if you're using HTML and JavaScript and you're writing a server-side game, you're probably doing the wrong thing. Can we all argue you're probably using the wrong language at this point? Of course, your game may also have a settings page, and that settings page might be better done with hypermedia than whatever solution you use at the core of your game. There's nothing wrong with mixing approaches. It's a transitional style. Yeah, HTMX does have WebSocket support. I'm curious about that. I'll investigate that maybe tonight. Who knows? Negative latency. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Predictive mouse movement. We should note, however, that this is typically easier to embed SPA components within a large hypermedia architecture than vice versa. Isolated client components can communicate with broader hypermedia applications via events in a manner demonstrated on the drag-and-drop sortable JS plus HTMX example. Okay. if your team is not on board. A final reason not to choose hypermedia isn't technical, but rather sociological. Currently, hypermedia simply isn't a favor in the web development. Many companies have adopted React as their standard library for building web applications. Many developers and consultants have bet their career on it. Many hiring managers have never heard of hypermedia, let alone HTMX, but put React on every job post out of habit. It is much easier to hire for. This is just a fantastic reason for what technologies you should choose to get hired. Invert this argument. Are you looking for a job? What should you learn? Learn the thing that has the most applications out there. If you see Go, Java, JavaScript, React, learn those. Be good at them. That way you can get hired somewhere, right? People always forget this, that everyone gives you the secret handshake out loud. Go to LeetCode, learn how to invert a binary tree, handshake, slap those hands, get everything done so you just nail it. Go to your friends, have them ask you questions. When was the last time you struggled at your job? And tell us about it. How did you resolve the issue? You go in there and you give the STAR approach, you give the situation, you walk through everything, and bam, 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 and you get hired because you choose all the right technologies and you practice how to interview. And bam, it's magic. It's crazy how magical it is when you just look at the very not-so-secret handshake of getting hired, and it works every time. While this is frustrating, it is a real phenomenon and should be borne in mind with humility. Although Contexte was able to rewrite their application quickly and effectively in HTMX, not all teams are as small, agile, and passionate, nor are all applications such slam dunks for this approach. It may be better to adopt hypermedia around the edges, perhaps for internal tools first, to prove its value before talking about it broader, or taking a broader look at it. First off, I love this. But then you might hate your React job. Yeah, you might hate your React job, but guess what? You get a React job, okay? You get a React job such that you can move into a better job. You know how easy it is to talk to a recruiter when they go, why are you trying to go to the back end? And you can be like this, well, I've been doing React now for about a year, and I find that my favorite parts are actually when I'm developing the API or even going further in. I love being able to reach into the back end and work on that side. I do React because right now that is what my job is, and I'm looking for something different. I'm wishing to expand my skill set, and I've been practicing it a whole bunch in my free time. Wow, that sounds really good. It sounds like you're a person who's a real go-getter and knows what you want. Geez, we would like you on our team. Right? Like, it's just like a slam dunk. I love reaching into the back end. Exactly. Who doesn't love reaching in, right? Why speaking so fast? I always speak fast. What are you talking about? Something is better than nothing. Yes. You missed a dab opportunity. I don't dab. Okay, I don't dab. The only kind of dab I'll do is a Bill Gates dab. That's it. I'll only Bill Gates dab. I'll never do any other form of dabbing. This is exactly what's happening to me. Yeah. How do I leave embedded? Do exactly what we just said. What? To give you an example of two famous applications that we think could be implemented cleanly in hypermedia, consider Twitter and Gmail. This seems like a great hypermedia place. Like when I think about the application, this seems fantastic. Both web applications are text and image heavy with coarse-grained updates and thus would be quite amenable to a hypermedia approach. Two famous examples of web applications that would not be amenable to hypermedia approaches are Google Sheets and Google Maps. Google Sheets can have a large amounts of states within their interdependency between many cells, making it untenable to issue a server request on every cell update. Google Maps, on the other hand, responds rapidly to mouse movements and simply cannot afford a server round trip for every one of them. Both of these applications require a much more sophisticated client setup than what hypermedia can provide. Of course, the vast majority of web applications are nowhere near the scale and complexity of these examples, and almost every web application, even Google Sheets or Google Maps, has parts where potentially the hypermedia approach would be better, simpler, faster, cleaner. I agree with all these. Isn't Twitter already struggling with their server round trips? They're struggling in different reasons. The problem is that when you lean super heavily into microservices, there does come a point where you cross a boundary and you now have 400 microservices, and every request requires you talking to like 100 separate microservices. You effectively create your own thundering herd, right? And it's just like that's all that's happening. It's just thundering herd everywhere, right? So that, I mean, there's a real problem with that, and it becomes really hard to understand what's happening. I understand the benefits of microservices. Obviously, I work at Netflix, and I've seen us be able to, work around a lot of these issues, but nonetheless, it's not, there is no good answer. It sounds like bad microservice usage. Well, that's the hard part. How micro should your microservice be? Right? How good or bad should it be? I don't know. How big? How small? How much should you put in one? How monolith should you go? I don't know. It's hard, right? It's hard. Had your share of pain with it too. Yeah. Left pad as a service. Absolutely. Having Hypermedia as a tool in your tool chest will improve your ability to address engineering problems as a web developer, even if it doesn't become your favorite hammer. There is a good theoretical basis for this approach, practical benefits of many applications, and it is with the grain of many of the web in the way other approaches are not. And then it ends with a nice haiku. What does Grug think? Grug wrote this. This is Grug. You know that, right? Grug is designed by the guy who also designed HTMX. Think about it. Grug probably agrees, is my guess. Yeah, this was good. This was actually really good. I really am. I really am excited about learning HTMX enough because I keep having to build these tools. And then it's just like, hey, can you build a simple UI for it? And I find myself spending way too much time building a UI. And a lot of it is just getting like state and updating and this and that and blah, 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 all correctly. Now that I'm discovering, if you will, HTMX, a lot of it I'm like, oh, I could have done that. Oh, I could have done that. Oh, yeah, that was probably what I wanted to do. Oh, I like this too. That's what I want to do, right? Like, a lot of it is actually pretty straightforward for me. A lot of internal tools, they're very, very simple, right? You just like have a text box that you put a UUID in, and then it gets a bunch of information about it, right? Like internal tools are very, very one-dimensional. You put in a UUID, you get out a CSV that you can download. You put in this, you get out that, right? Like they're very, 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 very simple. Oh no, something I need to think about. So guess what? The name... I don't have anything clever to say here, so the name is ThePrimeagen, okay? Hey, appreciate it. Hey, thank you very much for all those likes and subs. I can't believe it. We made it over 100,000. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We actually, like, if you go to youtube.com, ThePrimeTimeagen, like, look at this. Look at that. How did this happen? 103,000. How the hell did that happen? Why are you guys watching this? What are you doing with your life? The name is 103,000 again. It's coming. It'll be my second one. All right. The end. TJ was supposed to be here for that, and I'm a little sad that TJ didn't get to be here for that. Can we all agree that we're all a little sad? No TJ? What are you doing? I like Tej. Thank you for all the follows here. Let's
Welcome to Costco.
Yeah, go. Hey, there's TJ.
You.
He normally would have self-promoted himself. There's TJ.
Costco.
Go follow TJ. He's great. Honestly, go follow TJ. He is really, really amazing streamer. He's very, very amazing. Hey, Dax, thank you for the 70-person raid. I didn't even realize you did that. Check out TJ. He's honestly a really great streamer. He codes a lot more than me, but he's now coming onto my stream every week to read articles with me. Because he just has a lot of he builds language tools, so that's his job.
Welcome to Costco.
So it's very, very impressive what he does. All right. Hey, Kyrian, thank you for the one community sub. Appreciate that. The next best thing, let's go. Tier 1, hell yeah. Real 5RK, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. And Smo Cat, thank you for the resubscribe Tier 1. Real Clow, thank you for the resubscribe Twitch Prime. Dank meme 23, thank you. Milk me daddy, absolutely. I mean, you saw me milking men on Twitter, dude. I milked that man so good. I milked him. Chords of Truth, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Dax, thank you. Takia! Porque Maria, milked so hard. Huh? What the fuck did he just say? Did you not know? Did you not know that I milked a man live on... Hold on, let's find it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I created too many upsetness. I've created too many people getting upset. Where the hell is it? Dang it, I hate going. Okay, hold on. There you go. See, I milked a man.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
See? Milked a man. I milked myself as well. Okay? A lot of milking went on. Hey, can one of you from the future tell me what I should invest in? Yeah, do that. Yeah. Is that Warren Buffering? That is Warren Buffering. Explicitly, that is Warren Buffering. Isn't Warren Buffering is one of the funniest people out there? People don't realize that he might actually be the best memer. By the way, if you aren't following Warren Buffering, he actually makes the best memes on Twitch. Truly does. Or on Twitter, I mean. Warren Buffering. Oh my goodness. Warren
Turns all your bad
Buffering.
feelings into good feelings. It's a night.
Get out of here. This guy. He's he might be the funniest person. He might be the funniest person on the internet. He comes up with some really good stuff. Who is best? Warren or Pick? Ooh. Pick in the replies, Warren on the posts. Pick on the replies, Warren on the posts. Absolutely. No, he's not a meme bot. He's a real person. Is he buffering? He comes over and plays video games with me. Like, every time I've done a 24-hour stream, he's made it on like half of them. I like your tech videos. Have you heard of Fireship? Yeah, me and Fireship had dinner recently. So Pick is just a reply guy. Dude, Pick is the funniest reply guy of all time. Thank you. Hey, HTMX, I'm out here promoting, okay? I might even do a course on HTMX. Plus one, Pick funny reply guy. Oh, there's Warren Buffering right there. Pick is the funniest reply guy. Funniest reply guy. Warren Buffering, funniest post guy. Are you affiliated with Amazon Prime? Well, I'm on Amazon and I'm replying. Trash is hilarious.
Welcome to Costco.
I like Trash.
I love you.
Hey, Viron, thank you very much. I do like Trash. Send Warren Buffering Twitter link so I can't find him. Okay, yeah. For me, Trash has neck. Okay, I don't have a neck. Is that what you're trying to say? That kind of offends me. Okay, dude, I kid you, unironically, my 7-year-old came up to me and said, Dad, why don't you have a neck? I don't know, son. Maybe I was born for a time when we fought with swords, okay? I don't know. Okay? I don't got one. I don't got nothing, okay? Just absolutely wrecked by my 7-year-old. Agreed. A Viking son. I know. Roast, dude. I got boom roasted by my 7-year-old. More aerodynamic when you fly. Have you thought about simply growing a neck? Nah. I was not a raider. Why is Twitch doing this? Because obviously you're watching, Dax. Mom, I just milked the men, put a bottle against his head, and lifted the pinky. Now he is fed. What? He doesn't know about sword fighting. He does not know about sword fighting. Oh, I don't know about... Okay. Sword fighting. Like, actual sword fighting. Not that kind, Cam. Damn it, Cam. I'd also just like to say that neck size doesn't have anything to do with neck size, okay? Neck size doesn't have anything to do with neck size. I just want you to know that right now, okay? Just throwing that out. I listened to a podcast about sword fighting yesterday, real sword fighting. I've always wanted to do fencing. Cam, also very funny top-tier reply guy. Big fan of Cam. I have like a series of people I really like watching. Hey, Prince Jugi, thank you very much. Milk me, daddy. All right, everybody. We're going to go to twitch.tv. We're done. Fancy, you're fencing. All right. Dude, okay, did you not watch me say I'm not interested? Did you not watch me say this? Okay? I swear I'm not doing this. Okay? I'm not interested. Let's do the stock guy. We're going to do the stock guy today, okay? We're going to raid the stock guy. Okay, I haven't raided the stock guy in a while. All right? Let's go learn about some stonks, okay? Let's go learn about some stonks. Okay? You can't click if you're not interested, but then watch later. Okay, that's not me. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I don't know who Algo Bro is, but I don't like their name. Bob, you mate. Wait, what? That's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's me. You're not Algo Bro. By the way, Melky is the original Milkman. Look at this. If you think I invented the milk meme, you're wrong. Look at this. Milkman. Look at what it does. It even goes straight to Melky. It's an old link. I actually need to update that because it's not Melky Dev anymore. It's just Melky. Any milkers? Yeah, exactly. Any milkers? What's the next algo course coming out? I'm going to be doing it on Front-End Masters. I'm going to actually see if I can do 3 courses on Front-End Masters. Probably 2, but maybe 3. All right, so I'm actually curious. Hey, hold on. Before we do this, can you guys please jump on here? Let's see. What course should I do? Question mark. Let's see. HTMX. Check out my Twitter. Check out my Twitter. All right, check out my Twitter and vote on this. I'm not going to have enough time. Check out my Twitter and vote on this, please. I'm actually curious. HTMX, algorithms, part 2. Bye.